Chris, one of your old clubs, Tottenham, have been really busy in the transfer market this summer. What have you made of their summer spending?
Well, I think he's invested well, but I think unfortunately people like Robbie Keane leaving him, it looks certain that Berbatov looks like he's going to move, doesn't it? Or two big losses to the side. They've had a good pre-season. I'm not a great fan of pre-season, I've got to say. I think you see a lot of false results. But Darren Bent's been scoring goals. Modric is a very talented player. We know, I think he'll do very well in the Premiership. Gomez, wait and see. He'll be tested a lot. I still wish they'd signed a real sort of a presence in midfield, a defensive-minded midfield player.
Like who?
Well, like a Vieira used to do for Arsenal, or like McAlely did for Chelsea. Somebody who's in there, who's always available, a presence, can break the game up. And I still think that I think Janus is a good player. I also think Huddleston's got a decent future in the game. Modric, a good player, but they haven't signed that. Zakora for me is not that answer of the player I'm looking at. And I think maybe I know he's still got time. I think if you could add an addition of that type of player, then I'd be a lot more confident on Tottenham getting nearer the top four. But at this minute, I can see them creating a lot, scoring a lot, conceding a lot. So I think it'll be another exciting season at White Hart Lane. But I still think there are a couple of players short of challenging that group of four.
How much of a miss is Robbie Keane going to be?
Well, unfortunately for Tottenham, I think they've nursed him along a few years and he's been in and out this side. But I think last year we saw Robbie grow of age, and I think he's found that consistency. He always had them little flicks and little tricks which never really came off on a consistency basis. And I think last year we saw it did, and he created goals, scored goals. He stood in his captain a lot. I think he enjoyed the responsibility. And unfortunately, I was saying, if you put him and Berbatov together this season, maybe top four. But obviously, he couldn't refuse the offer from Liverpool, which is a great shame. And I think it's just showing that Tottenham, for all the luring players in and spending money again on players, they're still letting players go out the door, and key players for success at White Hart Lane. And I think until they can knock that on the head and get players who are quite happy to play at Spurs for the next 4 or 5 seasons, I think you're always going to see an unpredictable Spurs team.
So is it important that they hang on to Berbatov, or is it better that they get shot of him because he doesn't seem maybe to want to be there?
Well, if you spot the dummy out, you've got to get rid of him. I think you want players who want to put the weight shirt of Tottenham on, proud to wear it and want to give the fans. The fans have been very good to him, and the club have been very good to him. And I thought, all right, some teams come knocking and he thinks I want a new challenge. But I think at the back of mind of a lot of Spurs fans, will they think he just used us to get to a bigger club? And it must annoy them. It would annoy me if I was just standing on the terrace and every week at White Hart Lane. So I'd like to see Berbatov say, no, this club's been good to us, the fans have been good to us, I want to give them a bit more. I think we can challenge the top four, and hopefully we can. I'll have another good bash at it this year and see what happens.
So what do you think Tottenham fans can realistically hope for or expect this season?
I think if you take the top four away, who we all know the top four are, I think Portsmouth have invested quite well. I think Portsmouth will be up there challenging. There's no reason why Tottenham. I think you'll see Villa, maybe Manchester City, Portsmouth, Aston Villa. I think them teams will be the ones chasing the four. I don't think they'll get near them, I'll be honest. But there's no reason Tottenham can't finish 5th or 6th if they can keep Woodgate and King fit at the back, and hopefully Gomez, who we don't know. We will be tested though, I know that. See how he performs in the net.
And Juan de Ramos, in the time that he's been at White Hart Lane, you sense that he might become one of those big managerial presences in the Premier League. And we've got some great characters in the managers of the Premier League this season. How do you see that managerial battle playing itself out?
Hopefully he'll speak a lot more English now. He's been here a year or more or less, and I just think for him is that I hope he gets a good start. I think if he doesn't get up to a good start, I think a lot of fans will be thinking, we've signed some good players, but we'll let so many good players go, and there'll be a little bit of unrest around the place. And I just hope that he doesn't panic and the board don't panic and think, is this the right guy or not? Because they cannot keep changing. New managers want different type of players, and as a club you just hope that they say, I hope Ramos is there for the next 10 years and build a club up like Arsene Wenger did across the city, as is Alex Ferguson did up Manchester. A club like Tottenham needs somebody to be there at the helm for the next 10 years to build the club up, and then I think you could see a serious challenge. Plans of a new ground in the future, I'll look ahead, and there's a lot to look forward to being a Tottenham fan, but you need to get down to management, player-wise, well, you need to have a stable outfit, and I think until they get that, there'll always be a few questions flying around need answered.